We have now asked every member on this panel here on Get Up the biggest question they have entering training camps. Dan?
Yeah, right now we have 6 potential or future Hall of Famers playing at quarterback position. 2 of them, Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. We actually get it done. At some point, these 2 great players that have won 3 MVPs combined, but are 0-3 in AFC championship games together, can you finally find a way, one of you 2, to get to the Super Bowl and win it?
By the way, the NFL primetime music has me getting out of my seat. I love it. Jeremy Fowler, what's your biggest question?
Peter, who are the Browns starting at quarterback? What exactly are they doing at quarterback? You have a division with Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow, and you're rolling out Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and a 3rd and 5th round pick to compete for a starting job. I'm going to be at Browns camp. I have no idea what to expect from Kevin Stefanski.
D. Wood, your biggest question entering training camp.
Who is Jared Goff without Ben Johnson? Listen, Jared Goff has been an absolute baller since he's been in Detroit, but we all know there's been the Detroit Lions have experienced a brain drain primarily with Ben Johnson moving over to be the head coach of the Chicago Bears. We're going to find out this year, was it Ben Johnson or is Jared Goff still that dude in the Motor City?
I can't wait to take that one down.
All right, we're going to talk about it. Story of the day is right here from our great Jeremy Fowler, who has polled more than 50 NFL executives, coaches, and scouts, and has put together a top 10 NFL quarterback list. And then, again, this is not from us. This is not from Jeremy. This is from executives, coaches, and scouts. Take a second to digest, folks. Here is the top 10. Look at all those names. Consider the names that are not on this list. But number 1, the top dog sitting in that perch, still Patrick Mahomes. Let's go to Jeremy here because you polled more than 50 executives in crafting this list, and Patrick Mahomes comes in at number 1. However, unlike other years, seems like the door's cracked a little bit. Give some context, Jeremy Fowler, on what it is with Patrick Mahomes number 1, but why this is a little different than years prior.
Peter, the door is open slightly. Mahomes still garnered 60% of the first place votes. That is significant. So he has staved off Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, and Josh Allen. But that grip is slipping slightly because of the dominance, that he hasn't really put up the same numbers in the last 2 years. 8th in QBR the last 2 years. He used to dominate, always 1st or 2nd in that category. That Super Bowl loss in Philadelphia was sobering to a lot of people, the way the Chiefs offense have looked. Now, a lot of people pointed out Mahomes probably played quarterback better than he had in a long time, dealing with all the adversity that he had with Travis Kelce not being his best, O-line problems, wide receiver injuries. He managed the game really well. And we're talking about 17 wins last year, including playoffs in a down year. So he's still the guy. But we're in a golden era of quarterbacks right now with these other guys who are winning MVPs, and everybody's in their late 20s, ready to seize the day, and they're coming after him, and they're getting closer.
Dan Orlovsky, is Patrick Mahomes still, clearly and obviously, the best quarterback in the NFL?
No, I mean, Patrick, out of that group of 4, the top 4, he was 4th last year in the league when it comes to just watching them play. The gap has never been this ridiculously big gap when it comes to Patrick, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, and Joe Burrow. All 3 of those guys had better seasons last year than Patrick did, yes. But there is the reality that Patrick, not once, not twice, but 3 or 4 times, has played his absolute best when it's been needed the most. Those other 3 guys haven't necessarily done that. And so is Patrick the best at the position? He's still the top dog when it comes to you got to go be your very best when it's needed the most. When it comes to the ability to play, those guys have always been kind of nipping at his heels. Josh Allen's coming off the best season of his career in an MVP. Lamar Jackson's coming off of probably the best season of his career and arguably could have been the MVP. Joe Burrow's coming off of the best season of his career. So the gap has never been that big, but the difference is those 3 haven't been their very best when it's been needed like Patrick has.
Damien, why aren't you so quick to dethrone Mahomes? Like, everyone knows that those other 3 quarterbacks are coming in the AFC, but you have a different take on this thing.
Dano listed all these things about those other 3 quarterbacks, but who represented the AFC in the Super Bowl?
Sure.
With arguably the worst offensive cast in the Patrick Mahomes era. Think about it, okay? We got a diminishing Travis Kelce. We had offensive line issues, a guard playing tackle, for the Kansas City Chiefs. the weapons of Hollywood Brown being injured, all these things. Rashee Rice breaking in a rookie wide receiver. Yeah. And all Patrick Mahomes did was take the Kansas City Chiefs to the Super Bowl. So, yes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, all great quarterbacks. But you have to climb Mount Mahomes in order to get there. And now I haven't seen it yet. You got to go out there and show me.
Well, but that's what makes the conversation at least relatively interesting is specifically Josh and Lamar. They've played themselves into the category, the burden, the weight of it doesn't necessarily really matter that much anymore how great you are in the regular season.
No doubt.
You got to go get it done, and you got to go beat Patrick when it matters the most. So Josh, who was sensational last season, and then Lamar, who was great last season, they're 0-3 in the AFC title games. They got 3 MVPs between them, and they're 0-3 in the AFC title games. And so there is something to be said for, while their play, you can make the argument that Joe Burrow is the best quarterback in football when it comes to a certain style, or Lamar. You have to play your best when it's needed and beat Patrick when it's win or go home. And until they do that, as much as I love them, they can't dethrone them. And it's not going to happen in 1 year. It won't happen in 1 year. Patrick's done it for 6 years now. It won't happen in 1 year. But they don't get into the conversation with him truly until that happens.
It gets a little murky because you're talking about individual quarterback play and then team results, right? You're saying, well, also the Chiefs defense stopped Josh Allen at the end. So it becomes a different conversation. But Jeremy Fowler, I ask you, if you were to pick one person right now and you were to say one name, who is playing the quarterback position at the highest level as we enter the 2025 season?
Yeah, Peter, the people I've talked to around the league firmly believe that Joe Burrow is playing the quarterback position the best, but he's not the most feared. Those other quarterbacks we're talking about, their fear factor is thick when you go against coordinators. How are we going to stop them, not only with their arm, with their mobility? Burrow doesn't quite have that, but when we're talking about decision-making, accuracy, eye level, all the nuances that my guy Orlovsky loves, people around the league believe that Burrow is the very best at that. And look, are they wasting his talent in Cincinnati? I don't know if they're quite there yet, but the pipes are bursting a little bit. They're always putting out leaks or holes in Cincinnati, whether it's the O-line or the bad defense. But they have a quarterback that can win it all for them and win an MVP. He looks primed for it.
I think if you're Cincinnati, you don't want people to look back years from now upon Joe Burrow's time there and be like, and have very similar feelings to what people did with Matthew Stafford in Detroit. I mean, Joe Burrow was the third quarterback ever to throw for 40 touchdowns and miss the playoffs. Breeze and Marino did it. I mean, they were 3-4 in games that they scored 33 last year. So, no question he's playing it as good as anybody. That being said, they are wasting it. I said it last season. They're wasting not only Joe, but Jamar. And so that's, again, who's playing it the best? As great as Joe was last year, you can make the case that there was the slow start as a team. And so you got to get past that.
And listen, if you're asking me who's playing the quarterback the purest out of everyone, it's Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow. I'm talking about, we can get into the whole, okay, who's playing above the X's and O's, who's doing all the
extra stuff. But that has to matter,
But I'm talking about from the neck up, diagnosing, playing with accuracy, with anticipation, all of the. Give me Joe Burrow. Give me Joe Burrow.
Here's my pushback to that. I do think that we as a football world have to stop just constantly saying from the neck up. Because quarterback nowadays isn't just from the neck up. And there's a priority that has been placed upon your ability to get yourself out of bed and make